Piedmont Lithium is now funded from operations. CEO Keith Phillips is here to explain the news. Keith, welcome back to Kitco.
Michael, thanks for having me. Happy to be with you.
Keith, talk about the milestone.
Well, it's a big milestone. We announced this week that we have our first shipment under our offtake agreement with North American Lithium. So we're shipping the material in early September. The ship is on its way to the port in Quebec now, but we received a prepayment for that shipment. And this is under our offtake agreement where we're eligible to buy 113,000 tons a year of spodumene concentrate from the joint venture. We buy that at a attractive price and we resell it at market prices. So there's quite a margin built into it. So we received a $31 million prepayment. We expect to have several of those over the course of kind of indefinitely. And we think these cash flows from these shipments will fund really all of our development needs other than building our big projects in Tennessee and Carolina. So should fund our day-to-day work on permitting and engineering work on our other projects, our G&A, should fund our developments in Ghana, the capital to fund that project. And we're very pleased to be in that position.
How are operations progressing at Sayona? That's the North American Lithium that you're talking about. The CEO did recently resign.
Yeah, Brett Lynch was the CEO of Sayona for the last several years. He's the guy. He's a good friend. He's the guy we did the deal with to get North American Lithium out of receivership. Brett had a really good vision. I'm not on the board of Sayona Mining. I don't know exactly what happened with Brett, but I do know it had nothing to do with operations. North American Lithium is ramping up really well. It's an asset with a past. It started up 10 years ago the first time. It started up 4 or 5 years ago. I guess 5 years ago the second time. And each time it struggled and was kind of put down. And both times you had exceptionally low spodumene prices and too much debt. Right now we have strong spodumene prices and no debt. We have no interest in putting debt in the project. And the operations are going really well. So for the first time ever, the project has the time to get up and running. And these things take a year or two to really ramp up to nameplate. So the project started producing in March. I suspect we'll hit nameplate middle of next year. So we're making progress month over month, working out the kinks. Things are going well. The team that Sayona has assembled is exceptional. One of the big advantages of this project, it's near Val d'Or. So it's not a fly-in, fly-out project like every other lithium project in Quebec will be. So it's a place where people want to work. They can go home at night and see their families, and it's a big attribute.
I want to stick with Canada for a minute, Keith, because we're there. But I kind of want to, how would you say, focus out a bit. There's really been an upswing in activity in Canada. You look at all of the lithium-focused juniors that have come up. And then, of course, Albemarle made that $109 million investment into Patriot. You're seeing a lot of activity up north?
Yeah, I was going to say it's overwhelming. I guess it's not overwhelming, but I cannot tell you how many people have approached us to help fund them. Dozens for sure. And it's not just in Quebec, it's also in Ontario and several other provinces and territories. So there's a lot of activity. I mean, demand for lithium is booming. 5 years ago, it was hard to find a geologist who cared. Everybody was focused on gold, like geologists tend to do. Now, I think everyone's focused on lithium. It's white gold. It's the next rush. And there's a lot of focus. There will be big discoveries made. There will be big discoveries made in Quebec, Ontario, and elsewhere, in Canada, in Brazil, in parts of Africa, still more in Australia. And we need all that lithium, so it's really good. So to see all the entrepreneurs working hard and trying to find things, and then you have a discovery like Patriot, which is big and interesting, high grade. You have several others I think are coming as well. So it's interesting, and I think you'll see. I don't know enough about Patriot, but typically something like a Patriot should take a decade or so to really get to production. They may say it'll happen earlier. Maybe it will. I wish them luck, but these things tend to take a while. Mining's hard. So I think from my perspective, bring it on. I'm really welcome. I think the industry needs these projects. We want to be part of them. We have our own exploration portfolio. We have projects now in 2 provinces in Canada. We haven't really announced them. They're very small at this stage, but we have high hopes, and we're looking hard at a lot of other projects.
You mentioned Atlantic Lithium before as with the funding that you're getting there. Could you talk about the company? What's the arrangement you have with them, and how is the project progressing, Keith?
It's progressing well. Well, put it this way, it's progressing better than the press would have you believe. So Atlantic Lithium is a public company in Australia. They're listed on AIM in London and on the Australian Stock Exchange. They have one core project, which is called Awoya, which we think is the best located lithium project in all of Africa. It's a mile from the Atlantic Ocean. It's in Ghana, which is a wonderful jurisdiction, particularly by African standards. Free press, stable politics, and really strong mining regime. The biggest gold mining country in Africa, and we'll be the first lithium producer there. So Atlantic is advancing the project. We are funding them a long way toward the capital spending, and we're earning our way in. So we've now earned a 22.5% stake in the project. We now own that, or it's subject to approval, but we're going through that process. And by funding the first $70 million of capital, we'll achieve another 27.5% ownership position to get to 50-50. So we're excited. It's a big, high-grade spodumene project in a great location. We think it'll be, modest capex, low opex, and an important contributor to our business. We're going to bring our half of that material into North America to be converted. We plan to bring it into Tennessee to convert it to lithium hydroxide. So we're very excited about it.
There has been turmoil in Africa. Gabon and Niger elected governments fell to military coups. What does the people of Atlantic say about Ghana? They're comfortable with it?
Yeah, they're comfortable and we're comfortable. I was there 3 months ago. I met with the U.S. ambassador, Ambassador Palmer, who's very plugged into the government there. And the U.S. is important to Ghana. Newmont's a big producer in Ghana, for example, and a lot of other companies are there as well. So Atlantic feels good. We feel good. Our team is there all the time. We had a team there 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we don't have any particular concerns. I mean, Africa is a big place, but it is 50 plus different countries, and they're all quite different from one another. We've looked at other countries, and we may go to other countries, but so far the couple most attractive mineral opportunities we've seen were in places we didn't want to go. We have a very different view of Ghana. We're very happy to be there. We feel welcome there. I think the investment, particularly, I think it's helpful that we're an American company. I think they welcome that, and we're excited. We hope to be there a long time.
Let's go to another source for you, and that would be North Carolina. You have been meeting with affected residents for a proposed mine down in that space there. How is that consultation going? What's the progress on that project, Keith?
It's going well. It's a multiple stage process. I mean, there's really 4 or 5 parts of it, I guess. I mean, number one is the engineering and the technical work, which is very well advanced. We published a definitive feasibility study last year. Number 2 is permitting. We need to get a mine permit. We need to get an air permit. This is the 2-year anniversary of our mine permit application. So we applied August 31st, 2021. We hope to get that permit in the next several months. We're very well advanced. That'll be big news if and when it happens. Air permit will take into the middle of next year, we think. And then once we get the permit, the mine permit, we need to have the property rezoned. So unlike properties in Quebec or in Nevada, this is private land that we own, and it's typically zoned residential or agricultural. It needs to be rezoned for industrial use. So that's a political process we'll go through. Like any mine, you might imagine there are people that live in the vicinity who are quite happy with their current way of life and would rather the development not happen. I mean, we think the overwhelming majority of people in Gaston County favor the mine. It's going to be the biggest industrial development ever in the county. A lot of jobs, a lot of capital, and we think ultimately that'll be the overwhelming opinion. That doesn't mean people don't have valid questions to ask, and we're engaged constantly. We have a team constantly engaged with folks answering questions about water and blasting and dust and traffic, et cetera. All good questions, and we think we have good answers. And we think ultimately, when people understand them, they're going to very much embrace the project, and we're excited. It's an exciting project. It will be the only project currently contemplated to be both a mine and chemical plant on the same site anywhere that I'm aware of. The only other one even being contemplated is North American Lithium, which has a half-built carbonate plant there as well. So there are some big advantages from an environmental perspective to do it all on one site, particularly in North Carolina, where we're just surrounded by customers who need the material. So we're very excited about it.
Keith, there's always a lot of pieces to ask you about at Piedmont. Let's go downstream for talking about that lithium processing that you did get some funding for, I believe, to the IRA. I'd also like you to comment on also what you're seeing in terms of inflation. It was kind of a year ago where we were seeing companies that were trying to progress on some large mining projects, and they were getting surprises. Are costs getting more under control in terms of building these big projects, Keith?
I'd like to say yes. I'm not sure I can. We're going through the cost estimation right now for our Tennessee downstream plant. That's the plant that received the $142 million grant from the Department of Energy. It's an $809 million capital project per the DFS several months back. We're going through the formal process now with EPC contractors and looking at bidding. And obviously, if you're bidding and you're committing to do something, you might want to build in a cushion to make sure you have the contractors might want to do that. So we'll see where that comes out. It's not going to come up below $809 million. I suspect it'll be higher. I think that's just a common issue in industrial projects anywhere you build them these days. Fortunately, lithium prices are off their highs, but still historically strong, and will support the project, we think, quite nicely, the one in Tennessee and our other projects. So it's something we work through. But I'm waiting for the day when my team will call me and say, good news, the kiln's going to cost less than we thought, or this is going to cost less than we thought. That hasn't come yet, but I keep them on their toes, keep asking them for that.
Since we last talked, China's economy has hit a turbulence. What's the impact upon lithium demand, Keith?
Yeah, it's a factor. I mean, China is both the biggest producer of lithium chemicals. They're also the biggest, EV market by far. So EV demand in China and lithium derives lithium demand, and so far so good. I mean, this year's actually been pretty good for EV sales in China. The forecast over the rest of the decade still remains very strong, 20% annual growth. So for EV demand, so that drives lithium. So we're hopeful. I think importantly, what's really important for the lithium business and for someone like us is to have these other markets grow. So the U.S. is the fastest growing major EV market in the world now. It's been a long time coming. I mean, Tesla sort of started it all a decade or so ago, but all the companies are now focused on it. You see EVs everywhere. I was in Montreal this weekend for different EVs using Uber, and it's just great to see. And I think the demand here growing is really important, and to have a more balanced world market will be really important. So we hope for stability in China from an economic perspective to keep demand strong. To the extent it weakens, that will impact anybody producing the commodities China needs, and lithium is one of them.
On the supply side, any sources or large inputs of lithium that you see over the next couple of years, other than yourself, Keith? Around
the world, yes. So there are new spodumene mines starting up. There's one in Brazil, Sigma Lithium, they're a Canadian company, Core Lithium in Australia, ourselves in Quebec. Those are the three spodumene mines. The Brine project, Lithium Americas project with Ganfeng down in Argentina started up. And then there's brownfield expansion from the majors. That's really about it. There might be some others. There's a lot of material coming for the 2030s, and we'll need it. I mean, demand growth is going to be so significant by then. It's hard to even estimate how much we'll need. But these new discoveries are really important. We need them, and the market needs them. I think the EV business certainly needs them. I don't see supply risk as a big factor in our view over the rest of this decade. I think it's just highly unlikely that on a sustainable basis over the course of the next 7 to 10 years that there's too much lithium. I think it's hard for me to imagine that happening. It doesn't mean, prices are volatile. It doesn't mean we want periods of months or even a quarter or two where things weaken, but I just feel really bullish on average. I do think as I look at it, I take a very long view. I mean, I think we're in a transitional environment right now where lithium demand will exceed supply most of the time for the next decade or so. That won't always be the case. In the 2040s, I think you're going to have, recycling will become a factor. It's really not yet, but it will become a factor by then. Technology will improve. The inventory of recycled material will improve. You'll have a lot of these discoveries like the Patriots come online by then. And supply and demand may moderate. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what else we'll be able to electrify, but by then all the cars will be electrified and hopefully a lot of the ships and maybe a lot of the planes. It's hard to say, but I think demand at some point will moderate. So I think lithium looks a little like copper in the 2040s or 50s. between now and then, I think it's going to be a really bullish market, and we think we're in a perfect position to capitalize on that.
Lastly, Keith, what's your next milestone?
Good question. I mean, these shipments, we're going to keep announcing our shipments to keep people up to date. Driving our cash balance is really important. It's fundamental. And as you said, we're in choppy markets. We've been a company that started 7 years ago without any money. We've raised capital several times. And it's equity capital. You have to go back to the well. When you get to the point where we're at, where it looks like we won't have to do that for a while until we build something really big, it's very exciting. So we're excited about that. We do think in Tennessee, I guess it's in Ghana, we do hope to have news in terms of the mining license. There's some questions about the viability of that. We're not worried about that. A lot of good work has gone on behind the scenes. The time will come where there'll be a positive announcement there. I think you'll have the same sort of experience in North Carolina in due course. And then in Tennessee, we're launching a strategic process to bring in the funding we need for that project. We're not going to go write a check for $800 or $900 million to build that on our own. So we're looking for debt funds and at strategic partners, customers, others that care about lithium to get involved in that process with us. That'll be a 6 to 9 month process, but I'm really excited to see that come to fruition.
Keith, thanks for your time.
Michael, thanks again.
My name is Michael McRae. You're watching Kitco Mining.